All right, welcome to my first solo podcast. This one's going to be a little bit different because I'm so used to interviewing people and having the whole story be about them and them sharing their expertise. But for this episode, I really wanted to talk about this concept that came to me of doing a mini podcast. I'm sure I didn't invent this, but I haven't really seen people doing it. And we just implemented it in our other business and we're already seeing success with it. So I just wanted to share a little bit about like what we did and why having your own mini series podcast can be really beneficial. So, a lot of people start getting into podcasting and they think they have to do episodes every single week or every other week, and it really becomes tedious and it's a lot of work. So, most people never make it past like 4 episodes, and 99% of podcasters don't make it past like 10 episodes. So, if you are trying to build a podcast as the foundation of your business, then yes, you absolutely need to be podcasting all the time in order to grow your audience. If you have a business already, you can absolutely do a mini series podcast that highlights different areas of your business, and the entire podcast can be as little as 1 episode. So, let me tell you a little bit about how we did it for Park Ridge Vision and some of the success that we've seen with it. So, starting a podcast can be really easy, and it does not have to cost a lot of money either, depending on how high end you want your video to look. If you need somebody else to host it, for example, I'm hosting some of the ones with people that I'm going to be working with. Other times I'm just helping produce it. So, depending on what you're looking for, you can absolutely do a podcast for very, very little money. So, that's one huge benefit of it. The second is if you're in a service based industry or you have a product that needs some sort of explanation, it absolutely makes sense to record a quick 20-minute episode that you can send to potential clients or customers or patients to help explain whatever that specialty care is or what, unique aspects your product has. And that way, you're not having to repeat yourself thousands and thousands of times. You can simply send your episode to those potential people to listen to ahead of time. And it's already very well thought out. You have all the talking points that you want in there. And it's just a very seamless, easy way to get your message out there. Some of the other benefits are that business owners don't have time to do like ridiculous content. And doing a podcast gives you so many little clips that you can then reuse over and over and over again in your social media that it makes sense to batch those all in one day. So you're not recording these snippets of information once a week. You're recording an episode one time and you're clipping it in so many different ways. And there's also all these different apps and tools that will actually clip the episodes for you. They'll even determine what they think is the most viral. I have some opinions on that, but that's maybe for a different episode. So, some of the other ways that we're using the podcast episode. So, we have 4 doctors at the practice. One was not able to make it. So, we have the other 3, each got their own episode based on what their specialty care is. So, what's nice about in healthcare, some people don't know the different nuances or the different modalities that can be done. And so it's really helpful to just give somebody an episode that they can listen to so they get like a much deeper understanding about it. So each doctor has their own episode. We launched all 3 on the same day because I figured if someone's going to go on and listen to one, they might listen to all 3. That podcast for Parker's Vision is only living as 3 episodes for now. And what was really cool is we got to clip all of those episodes. So we're releasing one reel every week from each different episode. And then we're going to be putting together an email news blast to the entire patient database that will get the links to, it's on Spotify and Apple. And they can pick and choose if they want to listen. So it's going to go through our email blast. And then in addition, we host different like open house events. And now we can send those episodes directly to referral partners for them to get a deeper understanding as well and to give them a tool to send to some of the patients that they may be referring to the practice. So there are so many different ways that your business can benefit from doing a mini podcast. And we just have to change the way we think about podcasts, that if you're doing it for your business, it's not something that has to be a weekly thing or every other week. It really absolutely doesn't. Another podcast that I've been a part of was the Take Two podcast for Stacy and Lindsay from Main Street Counseling. And their podcast was awesome because they're just super fun together. And what's really neat is they put a pause on the podcast to focus on opening some other locations for their business, but their episodes are still getting downloads and they recorded them a year ago. So that content is still working for them because it doesn't go away. And it's all still relevant. Like nothing has changed with, the different topics that they talk about. So it's all very relevant information that can live well beyond just, those short clips or whatever you're doing for social media. So highly recommend the mini podcast. Um, I will be starting to help some different businesses put these together so that they can implement them and use them for their marketing. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk through this. I'm super passionate about it. So I'm also a big fan of it doesn't have to be perfect. If you are looking to start something, just start putting yourself in different episodes, maybe going on other people's podcasts, getting more comfortable talking. The nice thing about doing your own mini series is you have full control over the creative aspect of it. So if you say something that you don't like we just edit it out. If you misspoke on something, no problem. It gets edited out and you can restart it and say it the way that makes the most sense or will get your message across the best. So that's it. We're going to keep this episode super short and would love to hear from you guys on what your thoughts are on this mini podcast and if you want to implement it. And like I said, feel free to reach out to me if you want some more info on the things that I'm doing for different businesses. And I just look forward to seeing what you guys create out there.
Thanks for listening to Nothing Small About Business. Make sure you follow this show so you don't miss the value in upcoming episodes. Share this with someone who's growing and connect on socials for more.